I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on E!
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense.
And right away, he lost the football. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 27, Murray. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are. And then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Yards, first down, Vikings.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
That one goes for 24 yards. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
First down, Murray. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get resting. A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm? Meaning the sideline is protecting you. Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 14 carries, 55 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. He's airing it out for Will, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting us inside the 30. A big pickup of 38. Back in Arizona's second quarter action, it's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And an alley to run. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He finds an opening past the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now the fullback, Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. To throw on 3rd down. Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the 1st down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And can you believe it? It's a 2nd safety in this ball game. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. 2nd quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. 7 consonants, 1 vowel. Here's Juszczyk. Busts through the tackle. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
He doesn't get many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number's going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them because they do so much blocking that a lot of times their hands actually get beat up in the process, and it's hard for them to hold on to the football.
From the 44, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that's caught by Smith. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll run on first down. It's Cook. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 25 on second down, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Here's Cousins. The open man is Smith.
Let's go, son.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Cousins now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. Now Cousins on 4th down. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it down and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing now is Murray. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. That's complete to Butler. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go.
Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Draw play. Here's the fullback. It's Juszczyk. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
On second and a couple, Murray. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Cousins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Cousins now. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. First down, here's Cousins. Flushed out right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
On second down, Cousins again. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins the thrower. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. 4 receivers now, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Second down and 4. Now Murray throwing on second down. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They run it again with Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Protein spill.
They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, and even 50 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Throwing. Cousins to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now with Juszczyk. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage, but the big man setting the tone physically.
They'll try and run with their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
A solid run on gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
The tackle made by Todd Davis.
Gotta get the quick. Get on the quick right here.
At the 41-yard line.
From the 41, Cousins. It's caught. Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Herb Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that...
And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Shaq Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Kamale Correa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race now. This is into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
From just shy of midfield, Murray gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Murray now, 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's 1st down. Murray now. He's going to let this one go. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
52 and 56, 52 and 56.
Now Fitzpatrick. Complete. Smith has it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Wide open receiver complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And an alley to run. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Yeah, this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, a 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They're on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run with Cook. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. I call it no gain there on the first down play.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And they're well past 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10.